Greetings, Algo artisans. We're going to take a look at GameFi today, specifically GameGPT. The ticker is DUEL USD, and I think this is pretty exciting. It's a pretty new coin, and I think it can go pretty far. Let's jump into the charts right now. All right, so we're looking at a chart right now for DUEL USD. Big run up. We see that this was listed on MexC in January. Low of about half a penny, little under that, 0.4 of a penny. And then it ran up almost a times 10 through early April. Beautiful run. Almost a times 10 in just a couple months. And now it is down to a penny, just over a penny. It, of course, retraced with the rest of the market, and it fell as a lot of newer alts do. So very volatile, big wins, big losses. This would be if I were going to trade at something in a higher time frame, but we'll take a look at some of the areas where price might settle down and where it might go to, and then we'll talk about the coin itself, because I do think that this coin has some decent potential. Now, we got a couple of range areas. I'm just mapping these ranges out right now. Some older ranges that do seem to be translating into new price action, okay? Price is now above this lower range that it created as the listing bottomed out prior to the large Bitcoin run that pushed all the alts up with it. And of course, price did bounce back and forth between about 0.008 cents up to about 1.3 cents. Back and forth, moved its way up, created a bit of a range up here between, say, 2.5 cents on the top side and roughly 1.3 cents, 1.4 on the bottom. And on the way down, it's now settled in between this range here, rotating between, say, about 1.1 pennies and 1.4 pennies. That's a great move. That's a 30% gain if you can catch the top and bottom. It did break down to the bottom of this range, bounced off of 0.8 cents, and seems to be moving rather well with the move up in Bitcoin over the last few days. So this move up is pretty indicative that a lot of the alt market is starting to think that Bitcoin is done with its post-Bitcoin lull. To 8 to 10 weeks historically that can happen after the Bitcoin halving. Okay, so the post-halving lull seems to be coming to an end in the minds of at least people interested in this coin. However, that remains to be seen. This is only a few days old, and this move up could be stamped out. So where would I be interested if I were going to take short-term profits? I would simply take profit at the top of this range if I were not wanting to hold this longer at about 1.3 cents. If price did break above into this higher area, this probably would be indicative of Bitcoin moving on. And if it did so, I would look to grab a buy around the 1.4 cents and possibly hold it all the way up to 2.5 cents, getting myself a 70-ish% gain, maybe taking off some profit in the midpoint of that range right here at 2 cents. Now, if I did believe in this project and wanted to hold it, that is an entirely different story. Let's go ahead and get into the basics of where this coin could go based on its market segment, and we'll talk about the coin itself. So here we are on CoinGecko, GameGPT, DUEL is the ticker, now at 1 cent. Market cap is now $25 million, which is a decent market cap, relatively low. 10 million trading in 24 hours. That's actually pretty good. That's, maybe 40%-ish of the entire market cap. So I do like to see that type of volume in a coin. It gives liquidity, so on and so forth. Now, the circulating supply is about 2.3 billion. Total supply, 10 billion coins. And we do have some vesting data, so we'll get into that in just a moment. We got our website. This can be bought or sold on MetaMask, either Binance, Smart Chain, or Ethereum. And they've got Twitter, Discord. We'll take a look at all that stuff here in a moment. Let's look at the markets where you can actually buy it. You got Bybit, Gate.io, there's Uniswap, MexC, BitGet, BingX, CoinExBit, Mart, Ascend, EX, PancakeSwap. And that's for your Binance Smart Chain. Okay, let's move on to the vesting data from their white paper. Now, initially, I believe this project was called Prism, and they went ahead and rebranded. So this is why you have the Prism white paper. Here is the distribution, right? This is basically the vesting, and it's over a 30-month period, and it's pretty linear. I'm pretty comfortable with this. And it does go through a 30-month period where I do think the bull market is going to go from 12 to 18 months. More than half of these tokens will have been released by that time. So if the project continues to be strong, we'll have a pretty good indication towards the end of the bull market. And if the project is weak after the bull market ends, that could be trouble, because the more coins that come onto the market, the more people may want to come out of the project. However, this project does seem like it might do pretty well because of the casual game sector. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at their website here. So GameGPT is really cool. Let's look at their partnerships: League of Legends, Valorant, Chess.com, Destiny. This is PUBG and Dota. Some decent names in the gaming world. And basically, this is where you can create your own game with an AI engine. So people are creating their own mini games, and already 10,000 games powered by DUEL. Wager on $1 billion games or the latest Pepe AI game by staking DUEL. The winner pays 10% cash back in DUEL DAO. Let's look at some of their data for staking. I'm not seeing their APY right now. I know a few months ago it was in like the 700 percentile, but a lot of newer projects do have massive rewards for staking. There is a lock duration reward. If you hold for 24 weeks, you get 1.5 times the APY, 52 weeks, 2 times. So there is some reward for long-term holding, which would encourage more holding and their TVL. And again, we did already talk about their vesting, so on and so forth. Let's go back to their website, and this is their diagram for their bet and win challenges. You got also trusted by industry OGs, they say, CoinFund, DAO Maker, Placeholder, Anamaka Brands, Team. So here it is. Create your game in 3, 2, 1. So essentially, you can just use AI prompts to create a game, which is really freaking cool if you ask me. These are casual games, and casual games are an incredibly popular genre of games right now. In fact, we're going to get into industry size of casual games so we can have an idea of how big this could get. Now, I don't know that this is going to be limited to casual games, basically small games on your cell phone. So let's take a look at their Twitter, and then we'll move over into the industry size. So some things they have coming on. Looking at a brand new website, new challenge integrations, weekly drops, first co-develop partnership game launching very soon, Web3 game studios integrating the games into our arcade. That's pretty cool. Genesis NFT Mint, NFT Cinematic. Yes, there is an entire NFT ecosystem that's going to go through this project as well. And I do believe personally, I'm just predicting that NFTs in general are going to be a late cycle thing this time around. I think they were last time as well. Mobile app, blockchain integrations, much more. This is a video. You can just watch this on your own time. This is basically their who we are, what we do, that kind of thing. We've already covered what that's about. And what's great about their community is it's big. They got a very active and big community. They're doing AMAs all the time. You got 406,000 followers on Twitter. If you look here, though, you see an AMA 2 hours ago with 23 people retweeting it. Several thousand people have seen it. So that's happening later today. 1.4 thousand people tuned in on the May 11th AMA. That's pretty good. That was 5 days ago. It's a lot of people. That's a pretty big interest to have 1,000 people tuning into your project. And they're doing AMAs here. Let's see how often. May 1st, 4,000 people tuned in May. That's pretty big. And it looks like they're doing AMAs every couple of weeks or less. So that's pretty healthy. Good projects, good partnership, good community, lots of engagement. Let's move over to the data here as far as the casual game industry. Projected total revenue in the casual games market worldwide expected to reach $11 billion in 2022. And this is something that is expanding. You got a forecast with a projected value of about $19 billion by 2027, right? So somewhere between now and then it's about $15 billion. If casual gaming is a $15 billion marketplace and all they do is grab 1% of that, the question is, will this mean that the coin can grow? Well, let's take a look. You're at 25 million now. 1% of 15 billion is going to be $150 million. So that's about a times 6. $150 million is about a times 6 from where price is right now. And that's only if they stick with casual gaming. That does not count any of the NFTs, the staking, or if they go past casual gaming. And let's look at the size of that industry, which is $664 billion. That's a projected size of 2033. Right now, it's about half that at $300 billion. That's a really big jump from 15. I mean, you're talking about multiples. But again, I don't want to try to say that it's going to tackle that type or even a percentage of that type of market. If this thing only got 1% of the casual gaming, according to that math, that is a times 6. Now, of course, that might get diluted by the vesting over the next several months, next 30 months. But even so, I think a times 5 or a times 6, just by virtue of the bull market, GameFi, NFTs, everything else, I would say a times 5 is super reasonable. And if this thing really catches on, let's just say it grabs 5%. Obviously, that goes to a times 30. Big numbers here. Big numbers here. And that's from the current price, which is a penny. So just want to give you guys and gals some kind of idea of how big this could go. I think it's a pretty interesting project. I'm going to keep an eye on this. I don't own it yet. Either way, I do hope this video was helpful and hope you can kind of learn how we attach potential values to these projects. Please come on over to algofactory.tech. We help people build trading methods, trading algorithms. You don't have to know how to computer code or anything like that. People trade manually. However, if you did want to build an auto trader, we can help put you on the path for that as well. Now, we do have some pretty happy customers who are in different areas of progress for their algos. So have a listen to one of them right now.
Hey, Cowboy V, I just wanted to give a heartfelt thanks for putting this project together. I initially joined Algo Factory a year ago, concerned about a repeat of the 2008 Great Financial Crisis and the prospect of losing my job again. Within 12 months, under V and Cowboy's expert tuition, including live reviews, I've created a profitable algorithm launched across a selection of assets. Now, facing the prospect of redundancy and a nice fat severance package to trade with, my current worst case scenario is to keep my job. Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate what you've done here.
Okay, well, thanks for listening to that. Again, algofactory.tech. Come on over, trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you on the next one.